Everyday life, from the significant to the petty. Time now for Christy Gustafson-Barletti on 107.7 GNA.
Good morning, Christy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Excellent.
So Memorial Day is this weekend, and I think a lot of people think of Memorial Day as, it's some time off from work, it's some time to have a barbecue with friends and family, or get some yard work done and relax. And while people do all those things for sure, of course, Memorial Day is really about honoring veterans and kind of celebrating and appreciating the sacrifices that all these men and women have made over the years.
Mm-hmm.
So what we thought, do people really think of that first, or do they think of all the other things I had previously mentioned? So we posted the question on Facebook and essentially said to people, it was a fill in the blank. So this Memorial Day, I plan to ... And people could answer the question. And do you think that people focused on the veteran side of thing or the social side of things?
Well, I just want to add one thing, because this is a really interesting topic. So the way the question was posed, it was kind of open-ended, but you really do. It was like a test.
Right.
Yeah. Like, let's see how
We're just curious.
Let's see how people respond. When you think Memorial Day weekend, like, are their heads in the right place? And, I don't know. That's an interesting question. You got a bunch of comments. I would think that enough people would comment about paying their respects, doing something for veterans, so that you wouldn't be disappointed with the results. That's what I feel like you won't be disappointed with the results, but I could be wrong.
If that's what you're looking for, then you would be disappointed.
See, that sucks.
Okay.
And no, I don't fault these people, because obviously the majority of the people talked about the different things that they plan to do, and I don't think that means that they don't appreciate veterans and they don't realize the sacrifices these people have made. But I think a lot of times when it comes to these holidays, they are built up. It's built up in, ads as, great, look at the sale on this chair or this grill.
Or the beginning of summer.
Yeah, go to the grocery store and get ribs and corn. That's what you should be. So I think a lot of it is that, because the ads and the ideas are not necessarily saying come out to honor the veterans unless it's something like a parade. These other things are talking more about the social element of the weekend versus the actual original pure reason for the weekend.
So Christy sets a trap, and
whoa. I'm defending all the people who didn't necessarily mention it and saying they didn't.
No, I know you're being kind, because you really could hammer away at them, which I don't think you want to do to your readers. And I think that anybody could get caught off guard with a question about Memorial Day. But it's kind of disappointing to think that only 5 to 10% of the people who responded said anything about parades, anything about servicemen and women, anything about honoring those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. That is really disappointing, don't you guys think?
Yeah, but here's the thing. The way it was posed, too, like if you asked me, I would just tell you what my plans are. And not necessarily that I don't honor the military, but I'm traveling to Buffalo this weekend. I'm going to see a parade.
But here's the thing. You're not being asked, like if I just ran into you and I'd be like, hey, what are you doing for Memorial Day? Like, you would just say, I'm going out of town. But when you're answering a question online and you're posing all of the things that you're going to be doing, you have some time to give it some real thought.
Yeah. I don't know. If I answered this question online and said my plans are, I would say, my cousin's kids are visiting.
Yeah.
That would be my first thing. And again, it doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting veterans, but in my mind, that's how I think about the weekend. And I have relatives who are veterans. It's not like I don't realize the sacrifices they made. I just think that it's not always at the forefront of many people's minds.
I get that. So, and that's fair, because you even admitted yourself, given, if you had to do the same thing, you probably would get it wrong. So even though we're sort of disappointed with the results, are you disappointed in the people and what they said?
Oh, no, because I think they're really, I think they gave pure, honest answers. I mean, Deborah Hess was one of the few who really came out and said, hey, I'm going, thank you, military, and remember the fallen by lighting a candle. And then she said, and I'll enjoy my freedoms. But I know that's what we all think and what we're looking for, but...
what's interesting? I'm looking over on this list, and there's somebody who's actually, like with somebody in the military and didn't mention it. So look at the third or fourth name down. This one said, go to the beach, celebrate my husband getting old, and take a technology break. Her husband's in the military.
Oh, yes, she is, yes. But she's all around. He's active right now.
I forgot about that.
I thought that was interesting, right, because he's an active military member.
I happen to see this name. I don't want to see anybody else. I don't want to see anybody else in this list. Christy, thank you. We'll talk to you next week.